family, it's Tasha MAMABEAR Prepping. So welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel, where today we're just going to talk about, you know, shit hitting the fan and how, you guys, it's already here, okay? I know that there's this grand romantic fantasy that like, hey, when shit hits the fan, we're going to know, like the whole world will know, you know. Yes, in those scenarios like aliens attacking us and some sort of massive, you know, pandemic that just literally people are just dropping dead in the streets, right? Or turning into some kind of zombie, right? Yes, okay. But guess what? We live in reality. And what's crazy about reality is for years and years and years, you know, people like me have prepared for any type of scenario, natural disasters, you know, end of the world stuff. It doesn't matter, right? But we just know that you need to prepare to be ready for things that come your way in life, okay? And what's I think daunting and so heavy right now is that there's so many things that are happening that if you would have said these things would be happening, you know, a decade from now, people would be like, what? You know, no, that's not all going to happen at once. Like, it's just insane how every single day something is happening, right? And it's hard to, it can be very, very overwhelming. And so I'm going to give you 6 things that you can start doing right now today. And these are things that I think are kind of some big picture items of what you can do, because every single day it is something, right? And we're battling something, and we're literally battling several things right now as a country, as a world. And because the things that are going on right now, a lot of them are world problems, world concerns. So this is my personalized 6 things that you can do in this crazy world that we're in today, okay? So my number 1 thing is work down your debt. So it's no secret that your overall goal should be to prepare, and then in preparing, that is taking you to a place where you're going to be more self-sufficient. You're not going to be so dependent on a government or an entity or someone to come and save the day and help you through a situation. It's putting the power in your hands to be able to say, okay, something happened, we can handle this, right? Well, paying down debt is how you do that, because if you have, first of all, there's 2 things. If you have all this debt, well, now you don't have really the money to be spending on preps and extra stuff and extra food, right? That becomes more difficult when you're in debt. And then 2, again, it's just the fact of you want to be out of debt completely so that you can move forward with living a self-sufficient type of lifestyle, and not be dependent, okay? And you can thrive in your own energy instead of, you know, horrible debt energy, right? Nobody wants to be in that headspace. It's horrible, okay? My second thing I said was make the move now. So when I say make the move now, I mean figure out where in the country or where in the world you, in a perfect world, you would want to live to be the safest in your mind, in your family's mindset, and your goals for preparedness should the world get worse. Because I don't think we're going backwards. I don't think it's smart to say, oh, one day we'll get back to normal. Like, I don't think that's a thing, you guys. I think that this chaotic life that's happening, all these things that are happening are not, first of all, not going away, and 2, are not just things that just get better and then, ooh, everything is peaches and we're fine again. It's not, okay? If anything, it's going to get worse. And so where do you want to be when that happens? What is important to you? Where do you want to be? And then make the moves to do that. If that's get out of debt so you can do that, do that. If that's sell a home to move somewhere, do that. If that's sell all your things to go somewhere, do that. If that's you have to work on trying to change a job and do some sort of job employment change to be able to do that, do that. If you also cannot do this, like this is not in your capability, you're like, look, we're stuck where we're at. We need to make where we're at work, then do that. And then now you move on to step 2 of figuring out how you make that home the safest that it could be for things getting worse, okay? I'm not trying to say doom and gloom and there's just craziness ahead. But there's craziness ahead. It's not going to get better, you guys. And so you need to use your time wisely to prepare your home, prepare your family for what's ahead, okay? Because it's almost too much, okay? Shit hitting the fan, that's just like a term that was made up a long time ago that I think people were thinking about, you know, a black swan event, something major happening. And a major thing could still happen. It could still happen and probably will. But we are definitely in a soft shit hit the fan type of scenario right now with all the stuff that is happening, okay? The third thing I have is, this is super important out of all the preps, and that's keep stockpiling food, okay? Because of a lot of the things that are going on right now, they all kind of center around food and the ability to get food. And so it's really important that, again, self-sufficient, you start some sort of garden, you know? It's very rewarding when you start harvesting and have like fresh fruits and vegetables that you can like pull off of a plant that you actually planted, okay? So you've got to learn how to do that. You've got to keep stockpiling the food from the store, right? Little by little, keep doing it, keep pushing forward. And just know that even if you're starting now, today, every single day, every extra can you get or extra anything you get is that much more than what you were the day before, okay? So just keep the press, you can do it, okay? So, but do not stop stockpiling food. Number 4 is keep the full court press on prepping in general, right? Do your emergency list, see what you're missing, make your supplies list, get those things. Think about priorities and what's the most important things on that list that you think you need. If something hardcore happened tomorrow, you know, where are you at? Just concentrate and know that the craziness has already, the clock is already ticking, basically, as far as it started. And so you just got to really, and it didn't just start in one day, like, oh, shit hit the fan last Tuesday. You know, no, this is months and months of just a slow brewing of all types of events happening. And it seemed like every single day something else was happening. And it's still like that. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, this is like wild times right now. So do not let your foot off the gas when it comes to preparedness. Keep doing the things. Keep canning food preservation, stacking stuff, getting emergency supplies. Do not stop doing that, okay? That was number 4. Number 5, this is probably one of the biggest supply items that I think is important to get sooner than later. And it's something that you could live without, but it's something that's super important if we run into a situation where we are in some sort of long-term problem, okay? And that is getting your solar power in any way you're gonna get it. If you've got another generator, gas generator, something like that, or a tri-generator, and you've got that already and you don't have money for anything else, okay, fine. But I'm curious how you keep that thing going with the gas situation, you know, or propane, unless you just have a ton and ton stored up. I like the solar generator because some of them are very good and they do charge up pretty fast in the sun. And so I think that it's super important to be able to power at least one room in your house with power and plugging things up. And then maybe another one to be able to keep your food that's in your fridge and freezer safe. Okay, I think that's super important. We personally go with Equal Flow. There's some links in my description below through the Amazon store. You don't have to use those links, but it will get you to the product that we use. We have the Equal Flow River 600 for our smaller stuff, right? To run the CPAP machine, to do some of the cooking stuff. And then we have the bigger one, the 18, Equal Flow 1800 that we use to actually run our fridge combo, right? Our regular fridge and freezer combo and our chest freezer, okay? And we love those, and they resupply themselves in the sun in about 4 hours. And as you know, refrigerators, you don't have to run those 24/7 to be able to keep that food safe. So, and then on top of that, the next one we want to get from them, because we have a couple of the rivers and we have the 1800, but they have a bigger one, max, that's supposed to be able to run several things in your house at once. So just whatever you can do, it goes to peace of mind to be able to, you know, in a bad situation, have lights for a little bit, you know, even if you have a small one, just to run a string of Christmas lights at night or a string of some sort of bulbs at night, to be able to just read and see your family and play board games and just have a little bit of normalcy, would do wonders for your guys' mental game. Now, no, it's not a must, but to me, it's a huge morale booster and can run different things so that you're not freaking out, okay? And then my last one is continue to make connections with your family and your like-minded friends. So let's talk about family first. So when I say make connections with family, I'm talking about get out of the house, do stuff with your family, right? Go to the beach and have, you know, a fire pit where you guys do s'mores and you hang out for the day, you know, go to, you know, the park and throw a football around or whatever, right? Go to, and then take a little picnic lunch, you know, go to the drive-in movies, you know, or a little amusement park, or start doing some things. Go for more bike rides, right? Go for some hikes. What I'm saying is basically get out and do the things with your family that matter, because your family is what matters. And as we move forward, you know, I'm sick of talking about, but just as we move forward with changes and restrictions and people trying to dictate, and, you know, get out and do the things with your families, okay? And one that goes again to your mental health and your sanity and the overwhelmingness of prepping in general. And the scariness of, oh, do I have enough? Do not forget about your family. Do not get lost in prepping and then forget about your family. Do stuff with your family, okay? Make those moments count, okay? And then with like-minded friends, I'm going to say reach out to them, right? Write an old-fashioned letter to them. Make contact with them. Exchange your maps of where each of you live. Ask each other what you're doing right now for projects, okay? What are you going to do if this happens? What are you going to do if this happens? See if you guys can communicate on your comms gear, okay? Just make your connections, right? Ask them how they're feeling, okay? Ask them what they're doing for the holidays. See how they're doing and check in on them, okay? Because there's all types of things going on, and people are going through different levels of what's going on, right? You have people that are getting sick and battling that. You have people that are upset about mandates and what's going on with our government and how we're handling this stuff. You've got the refugees stuff and them in our country coming into our country. You have just so many things, so many levels of, you know, food insecurities. Just any day, could you imagine if just all of a sudden that dries up and there's no food, or just enough food to make people realize there's not food, and then the panic buying happens everywhere, and then it's totally shut down because we've totally depleted it now, okay? Because the panic finally sets in. I think that we're on some crazy times that really are not going to get any better, okay? I would love for things to get better, right? But going back to some sort of normal, like, oh, we'll get back to a normal, it's just not happening. And so you need to use your time wisely, work on these 6 things, work down your debt, figure out where you're going to go and get there already. Stockpile food. That is an important prep. Get your solar generators, your solar power, however that is. Maybe that's panels and an inverter and the whole setup, whatever, okay? You know, do not stop pressing and really enrich those relationships that you have with your family members and with your, you know, your friends too, but your like-minded friends in particular. Because as we know, acquaintances don't count. You know, those people don't care about you. Yeah, that person might say hello to you every single day, but that doesn't mean that they would do, you know, jack shit for you when, you know, something major happens. Okay. You can't even think about this. You can't even get those people to pay attention right now in this soft shit hit the fan, you know, with the stuff that's going on today. I tell acquaintances and friends all the time, like, are you prepping? Hey, how's your water supply, food supply? And I do it obviously in a nonchalant way. I'm not just coming out like a crazy, like, where's your food and water preps? But, and I still get the crazy looks like, girl, you know, so, you know, some are not going to listen, and some, you know, those people don't have your back. Okay. Family, intimate family members is what matters. Okay. And your time with them, and then your like-minded friends and people and connections. So keep those going. So I guess let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this topic. What's your thoughts on just, do you agree with me that we're in a soft shit hit the fan? Do you think I'm overreacting and this is not what it seems to be, right? That, hey, this is fine. We're going to be fine. Do you believe that, hey, what's going on and we are going to go back to some kind of normalcy? Or do you think that it's going to get worse? And what are you doing to, if you do think it's going to get worse, what are you specifically doing to get ahead of that, to fight that, to battle that, with the time that you have left, whatever amount of time, you know, we have before, you know, because when the big one hits, when something crazy happens, like, everybody's going to know. And we're going to be sitting around, you know, drinking our coffee like, there it is, just hit. Here we go. I mean, that's going to be the first thing out of my mouth. I know that is going to be like, all right, here we go. It's time to do it. Okay. So I will see you guys tomorrow on the next video. Blessings from my bear cave to yours. Take care.